Okay, cool. Looks like we are live. I think. Yes. Welcome everyone, Volairen, and welcome to the live stream. Welcome to the Volairen show, which is whatever I want it to be, whatever I feel like doing at the moment. This is just a place to hang out and talk various things about related to the channel. What's going on in my life, or what's basically or any game I'm playing or want to play at the moment. And today I want to play Stellaris. So the game we left off the last time we played, I was getting ready to do some wars, getting ready to take over this empire here. Let me go ahead and put the chat up on my phone. At some point, I am going to need to get a other screen or monitor or whatever. Down. Okay, so yeah. But anyway, good morning or evening, depending on where you're at in the world. I kind of have two homes right now. The U.S. of course, where a lot of you subscribers are based, and then I've got my new home here in the Philippines, and some of you live there as well. So anyway, yeah, so let's go ahead and get started. Go ahead and so I ordered my fleets over to this point right here, along with my transport ships. We're gonna go ahead and run the clock. Our economy's doing really good. I really like how our economy's doing. But we need to expand. Next step.
Blocker cleared.
I actually want to see if I can go without. Like, I think the only way I'm going to, like, so I will vassalize, because I'm doing just fine on resources. I think I will vassalize if it is easier to vassalize the empire than just claiming them, and if they are out of the way, like they are not directly in my way of expanding. So I think that's what I want to do. Okay, I mean, galactic community, I really don't care about the galactic community. It's gonna do what it does.
We are being hailed.
Like, I've never really been a fan of it. Like, I don't hate it, but it's just like, every time I've ever tried to take the galactic community seriously, it's like, I have no idea what I'm doing. So I've never made a video about it. I've never been interested in it, and sitting down and actually trying to learn it. It seems like way too much roleplay for me. And there's nothing wrong if you're an RP guy, that's cool. But I'm not. So, like, I mean, I can do roleplay, but like it doesn't, like, spark my interest like other aspects of the game. Yeah, a little RP and RP here and RP there is nice. Anyway, so advanced research complexes, absolutely. We're gonna go with that. This has a civilization, right? We're gonna have to invade that. I do have a 63 troop transport. ready to go, so just send it over.
Research concluded.
Deep crust engineering, I think, is something that I've been looking for, so I'm going to, but ship fire rate, that's significant, but I think this is more significant. This is going to free up one of my planets. It's going to free up a lot of districts. So I'll go ahead and go with that. Excuse me.
Anomalous readings registered.
All right. Are my forces there? They're still making their way. I have 15. I'm maxed out on food, so we just go ahead and sell 10,000. 17,000 was a little steep. Hold off on buying alloys. So we definitely should reinforce some more. I mean, we got all the resources in the world. Everything is aligned to just pump out fleets, which is great. It's a great position to be in. Now, did I ever get Starhold? No, I didn't. I still need to get it. So I will start making that a priority because I do need to get ships better. Somewhere. Is this HOI 4? Fallen welcome. Can't remember what HOI 4 means. But this is Stellaris, and it's a space exploration, conquering, 4X game, strategy game. Oh, okay. This is Hearts of Iron in space, no? Made by the same company, made by Paradox, I believe. But honestly, yeah, this is Stellaris. But welcome, man. To have you. So my fleets are making their way up here. My transport ship, yeah, is making its way up there. So when they get there, we're gonna invade. We're gonna take some of these planets. In fact, we can do some here. So we take that. I don't know what's better. Let's get that. We actually even have enough left over to... Okay, this has been discovered, so we're going to go ahead and claim this, then land armies on there. Well, believe it or not, I've never played Hearts of Iron 4. I never got interested in trying it. I'm sure it's a pretty good game, that many people can't be wrong. I'm sure it'd be fun if I played it. Just wasn't really... I wasn't really interested in the setting. Like, there was a time, like when I was younger, that I was, really interested in World War II, and oh, you have 600 hours in it, so you must like it. How was that for you? You think it's a really good game? the other games I've played, the other games I've played from Paradox, I did play City Skylines for a while. That was a decent game. I was gonna get the second one, but then it got bad reviews, so I was like, maybe I should hold off, and then I never got around to even trying it out. So, yeah. But then the other Paradox game that I do like that I had played from time to time is Crusader Kings 3. That is an excellent game. Just doesn't interest me as much as Stellaris does, and obviously I don't get as many views from Crusader Kings 3 as I do from Volairen. Yeah. I arrived on the Crusader Kings scene pretty late.
We are being hailed.
Cool. Be my friend. Getting closer. But yeah, Crusader Kings 3 is a decent game. Paradox has a lot of great games, honestly. Like, well, especially if in the 4X genre, like if you're a 4X player, like you like, strategy, Paradox has a game for you. I mean, it really does. You like World War II, you can play Hearts of Iron. If you like space, you play Stellaris. If you like, if you like medieval stuff, Crusader Kings. I mean, yeah.
Construction completed.
There's other titles but I can't really remember them. Now, there's Foundry. Foundry just came out. That's from Paradox, but unfortunately for Foundry, I don't find it as interesting as say other automation building games. Like I basically, what I'm trying to say is that I'm spoiled off Factorio, which you guys may have seen. There's videos for that on my channel. Factorio and recently Dyson Sphere. I would really love to come out with some Dyson Sphere videos eventually at some point, because it is a very good game, and it actually has gotten very popular. Yeah, it's good when a game has a lot of mods and a lot of mod support. You can do a lot with, because it's one thing if you have the base game and it has no mods, but mods like make it so that you could just play it forever, honestly. Especially if they have the right mods.
System survey concluded.
That's the shroud. I don't really feel like going. I actually need to go here. Because we need to take this. Even if it... Okay, so this... Can we colonize this now? Yes, we can. So we will go ahead. Am I winning right now? I think I'm in a good spot right now. So nobody that hates me is in a position to threaten me directly without hurting themselves greatly. This empire right now is the biggest threat to me, but honestly, I'm kind of snowballing right now. So I was really weak in the beginning, which is natural for this origin, but I have hit critical mass, and with my population, and now I'm basically exploding. You know, in less than 10 or 20 years, I went from 10 alloy gain to 108, and I have 589 energy credits. Like I'm getting more energy credit gain than I usually get at like 2300, year 2300. So I'm in pretty good shape, and my research is incredible. Which is the biggest strength of synthetic fertility is you get research thrown at you. Like, you will not have problems with research with synthetic fertility at all. You almost don't even need a tech. I almost don't even need a tech world. Like, I could get one, and I probably should, but like, you know, and I could make some more research labs, but like we are sitting pretty right now. It's 27, or no, it's year 70, and we've got 528 research. So yeah, am I winning so far? Yeah, I'm in pretty good shape. It's hard to tell in the beginning if you're really winning or not. Really, my experience is what ends up happening is you find out later in the game whether you're actually going to win or not. Like, so what I mean by that is basically once you've gotten established, like usually around year 2300, I have a pretty good idea if the game is winnable or not. Like, so for example, you know, usually around 2300, you know where all the empires are at and stuff. You know what the geography and everything of the galaxy, and where the borders are, and you know whether or not anybody's in an alliance or vassalized or whatever. Usually, you have enough intel by then to figure that stuff out. And so, so for example, if by 2300 I find that there's a huge federation that's just gobbling up all the different empires, that is not a good sign that I'm going to win. That just over and over, this has happened over and over again, and it's a real problem. I've thought about doing videos about it, but I try not to make videos where I bitch about stuff. Try not to do that. But like, yeah, so but if there's nothing like that going on, or there's other games where I'm doing really well and I've conquered like half the galaxy, but the other half is conquered by like a determined exterminator or some other really powerful empire that's like, you know, can't be negotiated with. So I may beat them in points, but I'm not going, you know, they're going to eliminate me. Basically, I'm not powerful enough to eliminate them. So that's the long-winded answer for like, so yes, I think I'm winning right now, but I'm not, I can't really know until we see where everyone's at, like alliance-wise and whatnot. The good news is I haven't seen any federations yet. And if there are no federations, that greatly increases my chances of winning for sure. So yeah. Well, I think Paradox should just, with the whole Federation thing, I think Paradox should just, you know, give you the option to turn that off. Because I would in a heartbeat. If I had it my way, like, you could not have Federation starts. Like, that would just not be allowed. Like, it just wouldn't be a thing. Especially, like, certain types of, like, just Federation starts. Like, you could quickly make a Federation after you spawn in. No problem. But, like, you know, these, especially the Origin, there's certain Origins where, like, you start out as, like, a hegemony, and the problem with that is that you get these 100k fleets by year about this time. you've got like 30K fleets, you know, these fleets that are so massive in these federations, you know, these federation fleets that like no single player can really like even hope to stop them. Like, and or any entity really. Like, it's just too much. So I think it's really imbalanced there. So yeah. Anyway. So we are okay, our forces are here. We're gonna go ahead and use this. We're just gonna tear this shit up. Now, I could vassalize them, but like I said, I want territory. I don't actually need to need vassalization. I think I can get more out of just territory.
We have exhausted all diplomatic options. Construction completed. Construction completed.
Definitely need to reinforce.
Engaging hostile station.
Alright, we're taking over that. Taking over that starport.
Research concluded.
Okay. Good, we didn't lose anything. Great, let's go to the next one. Looks like we completely took it over, so I'm gonna make this vague. I actually don't really like to put my I really don't like to put my transports on aggressive anymore unless they're overwhelming. Okay, we got cruisers. This is good. So okay, I like alloy mega forges. I like extraction wells, but I already have exotic gas refinery. I'm thinking missiles. If I could get swarmer missiles with autocannon, that would be I think I'd be in a good spot. No, I think I would be in a decent spot. Especially for the carriers. Like, swarm missiles on carriers are really good. Because they got the range. So yeah, let's go with fusion missiles. Look at our alloys keep going up. Now I've got 122 gain. This is getting nuts. Like, I'm just gonna be able to build and build and build, and nobody's really gonna be able to stop me. So now they okay. Weird. They had less opinion than this before, but now have more opinion than this. But now it says it's increased by 4, so I don't know. But I've got to watch this empire right here. I don't think they're going to do anything, but you know, you never know. Stellaris. That's actually one of its strengths and its weaknesses, is that there's so much randomness to Stellaris, is that it's very like impossible to predict what's going to happen next, regardless of what build you're doing. It's kind of like, I don't know if anybody's played Solitaire, but like there's some hands in Solitaire that are just like unwinnable. You know, even though you can still play it and still try it, like you don't like your chances of winning are really slim, or they're just impossible. You know, it's just luck of the draw. So yeah, there's a lot of luck of the draw to Stellaris, for sure. So this is their main fleet. Looks pathetic. Try to see if I can wipe them out. And then I think,
Blocker cleared.
let's see, have any troops on their planet? Likely to do. Oh, they don't. Okay, great. So what I'm gonna do here real quick is try to bombard, have them surrender. Okay, why are you so slow? Why is my fleet so slow? Okay, well, I guess they're gonna meet me here. So I think I need more propulsion. So the next time I see ion drive, I'm definitely gonna get it. Because this is way too slow at triple speed. I actually want to... I'm zoomed in. Now I can't see any of the damn ships. What? Why are they disappearing? There they are. I'm trying to get a good shot. I was going to take a screenshot of fleet battle, but give me a second here. I'm going to go ahead and make a quick recording video. Another thing I'd like to see change in Stellaris is fleet battles. I don't believe that the enemy that either side should be able to just warp out, like, you know, after, like, touching once. Like, I think definitely if you, like, jumping out should not be that easy. Like, that's what I think. It may be less realistic, but like I just think that the whole disengage and, you know, hit and run stuff is just has been so abused by the computer. It's just, you know, and it's so easily abused. Like I just think it's very imbalanced. I've always felt that way. I think if you're gonna commit to an engagement, then then you better be able to take them on, or, you know, and so what's happened with me throughout my time playing Stellaris, like right then, I will defeat them, but only because they just jumped out, and then I have to fight them later, and the worst thing that happens, which is really annoying, is they reappear in places I've already conquered. So now, which is completely unfair, it's not unfair, it's imbalanced, because I can't do that with my planet. I wouldn't have been able to do that if the computer had if I had jumped out, I would have no way of controlling where my fleets end up. So yeah, this ability for the computer to just teleport its fleets using the disengagement is just it's really ridiculous. I've always had a problem with it, but I deal with it, you know, like I am right now. They're gonna reappear, and I'm gonna have to fight. It's like, I'd like to just fight a fleet once instead of having to fight it over and over and over again. It's just yeah.
Engaging hostile station.
Okay, we need to dump our energy credits, so we're gonna buy. Do I want to buy? You know, I have so much energy credit gain. I'm gonna buy the 2,500, and then we're gonna go ahead and reinforce. And, oh, no, we're not going to do that. We are going to make cruisers. That's right. So, hey, Fenru, how's it going? Welcome back, my brother. My brother from Indonesia. Let's see. So, we want broadside bow. Want the hangar core, absolutely. And then we want the gunship. Actually, no, I think we want the broadside stern. So if we can get swarmer missiles, actually, you know what? We'll go with the. This is tough. Yeah, I want to go with the gunship stern because we do want autocannons on this thing. The reason I want autocannons on my carriers is so if they do get engaged by close quarters units like corvettes or whatever, they can still defend themselves and tear them up. So, like, it's kind of got it. The way I set up my cruisers, at least, my carriers, is they're kind of able to handle just about anything. So, like, if something gets in their face, they can use their autocannons. If they use, you know, if something engages them at range, they can use the swarm missiles. If the you know, if they're using missiles against my carriers, I have point defense, and by default, hopefully they don't engage at all, and I just kill them with my strike craft. So that's how this has worked this whole time. So, but I don't have swarm missiles right now, so I'm just going to load up with autocannons, and we're just going to go ahead and put some crappy point defense there. And now I am going to need to, the next time I see strikecraft technology, I'm definitely going to be researching that. I just haven't had a chance to yet. Now, the very important thing is putting it on carrier combat computer. So, like, this is very important. Don't put it on artillery. Put it on carrier. Okay. I regretted it. I've regretted it every time I've ever tried the artillery combat computer. My stuff just gets blown up. So, yeah, carrier is really important. Like, with the carriers, like, all the other weapons on this ship are like secondary to the strike craft. So ideally, I don't use the other weapons at all. I just use the strike craft. Now, that may be like inefficient in some ways. That might take longer to kill stuff, but that's but the benefit is that my cruisers take no damage. My battleships take no damage. You know, they're engaging the strike craft, not my cruisers. So that is what I want. I don't want to use the other weapon in an ideal situation. So that's kind of my logic here. Let's see. So we'll do half and half shields, if we can. I think we can. And then, because we have about an equal amount of technology for both. Now, what is this orbital trash dispenser thing? Now, 25% orbital bombardment damage. That's significant. I would consider this. But then again, if I was just going by, you know, sheer power, survivability, and combat, I would definitely shield capacitors, I think, are underrated. I think anything that gives you more hit points basically for free, which is what these are, like, that's actually a pretty good deal. Now, we have shield hardeners. You know, you don't have to have those, but like, they are kind of a nice thing. So I think what I'll do is I'll do one shield hardener, 2 capacitors, and this is kind of arbitrary. This isn't like, you know, I'm not like doing, you know, super math here, but like giving it some extra shields and making the shields a little tougher, I think, is a good deal. So from what I understand, shield hardening basically it makes the ship's shields more resistant to things that would bypass it. So how I understand this is, say nuclear missiles, for example. Give me the stats. Okay, there we go. 100% shield penetration, right? So with shield hardening, yeah, this has shield, you know, in the case of these missiles, shield hardening would actually take some of that damage. And it wouldn't allow all of the damage to go through. So it basically makes you resistant to counters to an extent. I mean, it's not counterproof, but obviously nothing is, but like, you know, it makes it more difficult to counter you. In that sense. So, and especially if you have shield capacitors on top of that, you know, the other reason I actually like shields more against the computer at times than armor is because, oh shoot, I don't have my laptop. Don't turn off. Whatever you do. Sure, okay, the stream's still going great. Crisis averted. All right, so would you rather have 10% more or be 15% tougher? Difficult decision. Yeah. And yeah, like I honestly I just go for a mixture. I hate math, so I just go for a mixture of things. You know, if I have shield capacitors, that's just going to give my ship more hit points in general. Can't really argue with that. And the shield hardening, if they counter the shield, I'm not getting hit as bad. So, like, you know, that's a simple math in my head. And then I have armor in case they bypass the shield. So, but the reason I like shields more when fighting the computer, you know, armor might be quote unquote the meta in PvP, but the problem is that the computer likes to use weapons that that hurt armor really bad or that are not as strong against shields, such as photon launchers. That's actually the big thing. Honestly, my whole strategy is to counter that classic computer strategy of just loading up photon launcher frigates and just spamming them at you, which is what they will do if you let them. Like, so that's kind of, you know, so that's why I actually like shields more in this meta than you would think I should, you know, because anything that keeps my carriers and my battleships from getting blown up by photon launchers is just, you know, and so let me rename this real quick. And I think we're good. We need to upgrade the chemical thrusters. Okay. So, and the problem I have with the whole photon launcher frigate thing is that it is basically a computer hack. Like, what I mean by that is, so take there's throughout gaming history, you know, there have been games like StarCraft, for example, where it has units that are much easier for the computer to use and are much more powerful in the computer's hands than it is in your hands as a fallible human player. Unless you're like the top 1% of gamers that, you know, like doing championships and stuff and are doing esports. I'm not talking about those guys. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about your run-of-the-mill player is gonna suck more with, like, say, High Templars. I don't know if anybody knows what that unit is, but they're caster units, and you know they require a lot of micromanagement in order to be effective. The computer, though, has no problem at all with with micro. That's just the thing. The computer loves micro. That's all it does by default because it's a computer. So, the computer is usually much better at micro than humans are, and so because of that, and other reasons, there are certain strategies and units that are more, we call it, computer friendly. So, and I believe frigates with photon launchers are in that category of, like, this wouldn't be very effective if I tried to use it, but in the computer's hands, that's, it's kind of like a cheat code. So anyway, as you can tell, I have a lot of residual resentment against frigate spam.
Construction completed.
Because like frigate spam wouldn't work against a human opponent. Like it wouldn't. In a PvP situation, frigate spam would not work. You would get taken out by somebody. Somebody would have something, a setup that would counter that. But like, anyway, let's continue with the. I want to bore you guys to death with all my talking.
System survey concluded.
So we're just going to keep taking systems here. Okay, these guys need to get suppressed. I don't need them growing. That's what you do with faction. If they're below 50%, you suppress them. If they're above 50%, you can either promote them or just let them stay the way they are, which is usually what I do. So damage to star bases, I definitely want that. Yeah, so we've just basically rolled this empire. Now, Braxium Foundation. Where is that? Okay. So these guys got bigger. They subjugated these guys. Okay. Okay, so they... Cool, so I won the war. They submitted. So... Cool, we got some new territory. And I'm just going to keep doing this. I'm just going to keep taking chunks out of my neighbors. Except maybe this guy. I want to vassalize. I want to vassalize these guys. Okay, they're harming relations. Alright, well, screw you then. I'm gonna take your territory too. I just need to get stronger than them. So I'll be taking chunks out of this too. Let's see. I'm gonna go back to my home planet.
We are being hailed.
Okay.
We are being hailed.
Dude, paused it. I don't think we can manipulate. So, I'm gonna take our scientist again. Oh, they didn't. Great. Well, that's good. We have another scientist, but honestly, I think I'm just gonna take my scientists and start researching anomalies. Survey system. See if we can put scientists. Can. Good. He basically was just a total drama bomb, and it was like, okay, good, there's a hyperlane there. Okay, I was about to say, dude, if they block me off, that's annoying. Okay, so, but yeah, there was this video that said, you know, that it was investigating the death of StarCraft, and like, and that YouTuber got so much hate, like, but I also think it was the way he responded to it was like, he just got super upset about it, and like, I don't, you know, ooh, arc furnace. I gotta pass on iron thrusters again, but I have to get this. Arc furnace is a must. Sorry, but back to what I was saying. You know, and he got so much hate for that, like, but I think it was because of the way he responded to the haters, and like, you know, so I kind of felt bad for him. I'm not going to name any names because I don't want to get into drama, but like, but I honestly feel like I don't think StarCraft is ever going to die, you know, like actually die. I think, especially StarCraft 1, but I'm talking about StarCraft 2. I don't think it's going to die unless, like, you know, Blizzard shuts it down. Like, I don't think it's going to actually die, but definitely, I don't think StarCraft 2 is ever going to be as popular as it was a couple years ago. Just a couple years ago. I think, like, StarCraft 2 is just, basically, it's forever going to be a shadow of its former self. Like, I don't think, like I said, I don't see a resurgence happening with StarCraft 2 because, and it's because of Blizzard, really. It's not because of the game is bad. You know, like, the game's amazing, but the people who own it, I have a real problem. And that's why I stopped playing Warcraft, and I've just stopped playing Blizzard games in general, because I don't agree with the direction that they're going in. Never have. And so, yeah. But, like, it was interesting to see that video, and I do agree with the YouTuber to an extent, but, you know, like, I do agree that, like, StarCraft, I don't think StarCraft will ever get out of the pit that it's in, because of
enemy planet
Blizzard,
secured.
basically. Yeah, like, I mean, what I think's going to happen with StarCraft 2 is that, like, people are just going to start bootlegging it. Like, they're going to bypass the launcher and just find ways to play it without the launcher. You know, because players do that. So, like, yeah. But I think that, or Blizzard makes a miraculous comeback, which it might. They might get new management, you know. I forgot the name of the guy who's in charge of Blizzard Activision right now, but, like, say Blizzard Activision one of these days gets their head out of their butt.
The key to the universe.
Yeah. You know, StarCraft
establishment has begun.
StarCraft might have a resurgence. I mean, and you know, I mean, I will always have, like, I don't think that the YouTuber that said it was declared it dead was saying that, like, no one plays StarCraft, because I think that's impossible. I don't think, just like Age of Empires 2, for example, like, I don't think that it's ever gonna not have a following, right? It's not, it's always gonna have some kind of cult following, right? But I think, like, as far as its former glory days, I don't really see a return to that. So now we got a non-aggression pact invitation. Let me see. So these guys really like us, and they're improving relations. You know, we could have a powerful ally here. I gotta think about this because I would like to subjugate him. I think he is sort of in my way, but I can get around him because he's like over here to the side. So I think he would be worth vassalizing instead of conquering. So if I so I think I'll sign the non-aggression pact, even though it costs me. Oh, I could do a defensive pact. That's interesting. I actually think I might want to do the defensive pact. Well, who's his allies? He doesn't really have any. So oh, you know what? This guy's an overlord. That changes things. I gotta think about this. Because, like... And this is kind of something else I'd like them to look at. The whole overlord thing, like... So, I don't think it should be impossible to subjugate an empire once it's an overlord. I think that shouldn't matter. I think if you're so powerful that, like, say these guys were pathetic, right, to us, we, you know, they should have the option to join with us and along with all of their vassals and just form one big power block. I don't see a problem with that. You know, I don't think them being an overlord should you know, should bar you from vassalizing someone non-forcibly, I think. But you have to be really, of course, you have to be much stronger than them, and then, you know, most overlords, they're going to be pretty strong. So I don't even think it's necessary to, like, block it. But anyway, so what do I want to do with these guys? It would be beneficial in the short term, I think, to sign the non-aggression pact, but it would put a hit on my influence, which would keep me from making claims. So, and they're not really hurting me right now. They're an overlord, so I can't vassalize them peacefully. So I would need to go to war with them at some point. So I think I will just possibly ignore it for now. Then again, these guys are getting uppity. I just now realize, like, the relations is going really bad, even though I have all these envoys on them. They really want to go to war with me, it looks like. So maybe I should sign the defensive pact. Who are their friends? Are they in defensive pacts with anyone? No. So I actually think it would be in my best interest to get a defensive pact. Because I don't want to fight two enemies at once. So. And the other thing too, if I got the tradition, we could form a federation. That is a possibility. So I'd like to have an established vassal block before I get into a federation for more points. Anyway.
We have detected an anomaly.
Oh, we made cruisers, but we forgot to make a fleet. Okay, so let's fix that. How many cruisers can we put in this fleet? 19. Nice. That's good. And destroyers, add cruiser. All right, we're in business. Gonna start adding cruisers. Gonna get super powerful, and I think what we could do, we could maybe federate with this guy, vassalize this guy, forcibly vassalize them, and then come over here, swing over here, and just conquer, you know, claim grab, you know, just claim this stuff. Do claims wars here. Something we could, and claim more up here too. Claim this stuff. Maybe vassalize these guys. We'll see. But now's where we start really exploding, especially if we can get our alloys up, which it just continues to go up. Now let's look at these new planets. Add. I guess we have them. Yeah, I guess I've got to recolonize that. Did I purge them? I must have purged them. Or I think I assimilated their population. I think that's what happened. Habitability and unity. I don't really like that, so. But yeah, I played StarCraft 2 for a while, for a long time actually. It was one of the few games that I could play with my best friend. And we got really far. Like, we were a really good team. Like, you know, very competent. Like, at each other's back. It was really good synergy. But yeah, I think I do hope someday that, like, you know, Blizzard will come to their senses, or that they'll get new management and turn things around. Because they have great franchises, they really do, and it's a real shame what's been going on in the gaming world lately. It really is. Won't really talk much more about that, but, like, yeah, I mean, stuff is kind of dystopic right now. You know, like, especially like in the gaming world, like basically the indie games are like more fun and more enjoyable than games that have like $1 billion budget and like thousands of people working on them. I think that's really sad. Yeah. But okay, this is some good resources here. See if we can take that over.
Blocker cleared. System survey concluded.
I actually need to make some more construction ships. Well, actually, I already have some here. I need to make some mining stations on some newly conquered planet. Yeah, exactly. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened to these planets. Well, I have my default right is assimilation. So let's read this again and see what. Okay, the pops of this species are altered over time to better match the dominant species of the empire. Pops that are in the process of being assimilated will not produce any. So it's not purging them. I don't get it.
We are being hailed. Research concluded.
Oh, they're going to war. This is significant. These two guys are going to war. I think I might do some claims. So the entrance is here. It's anywhere else except here, fortunately. I think I could claim this planet. I don't have a lot of influence right now though, so we'll just see how this develops. But this would be a perfect time to claim some land from these guys. They don't like us anyway.
Construction completed.
Okay, we got new tech. So yeah, definitely want to upgrade the barrier point defense. We got 34 months on arc furnace. So that's good. Let me see here. We got good mineral gain. Build an industrial district, very nice. Actually, let's go to policies. That reminds me to go to policies. We have some edicts that we could use. So, optimize identity creation. Mechanical pop assembly speed plus 15%. That is significant. Or subsidize identity backups. So this is leader stuff, which doesn't interest me as nearly as much as optimized identity creation. So I just noticed here that I'm paying a lot of Unity for capacity subsidies, which is why I'm getting so much energy credits. I probably could turn this off and be okay. I really do not need this much energy credit gain. I really don't. And I've been pumping out ships too, so I think, yeah, the empire size is making it worse. I'm still getting like 375 Unity. Let's see what happens. Turn it off. That's not bad. It's still 486 is still amazing. Still more than enough.
Blocker cleared.
Alright. Science vessels are doing their job. That is good.
Construction completed.
Alloys keep going up. More ships. Down. I will get the engineering. Okay, minerals is maxed out, so we can sell that. I think I'll sell. Yeah, we could sell 10. And then we could probably buy some emeralds.
Construction completed.
Yeah, I think we can just keep conquering here. Keep snaking through this territory. Nobody's claiming it, so we might as well. Well, hopefully this war between them will weaken these guys so we can take advantage of them. But this is really good that they're fighting each other, that they don't like each other, because that's going to make conquering these guys so much easier. If they don't do it first. Now, if they conquer them, that's going to be bad for points-wise. But then again, right now they're my friend, so you know we're in a defensive pact. So if they take them over, it's not a total loss. At least I'll have a powerful ally. It's just I'm always kind of thinking ahead to the end game score. No.
Construction completed.
But I have thought about just ignoring the score and just playing the game, you know? Whatever happens at the end happens. Just for fun, you know? I usually don't even make it to the end. Because the end game is so boring.
The special project has concluded.
So I completed the precursor chain. That was a lot of society to...
System survey concluded.
So we have 175 influence. We could make claims. We claim this one. That's good right there. Arc furnace is done. Hell yes. Okay, so we have mineral purification. And we have railgun. I don't know if I don't think railgun is required. I gotta look at the internet real quick. Stellaris. Okay, what is the autocannon? Come on, tell me. Let's see. Stellaris. Tech. Let's go with that. Go to anything. Oh. Nope. Railguns, Ripper autocannons, the better autocannons are not gated behind railgun. So that's a good thing. I think I still want railguns for mega cannons, you know, for the X-slot weapons. So I think I'm still going to do that. And kinetic artillery might be nice too, eventually. So, yeah. But advanced mineral purification is way better. I am a friendly robot for the most part. Yeah, I am not. I'm not hostile. I'm not a hostile. I am a egalitarian materialist. Meritocracy, technocracy, and I'm playing synthetic fertility. So, yeah, no slaves. So it's synthetic fertility. So what I do is anyone who joins my empire will be put into a synthetic body. So it's kind of like biotransference. So that kind of thing. So that's what we're doing here. Yeah, so when I took these guys over, I think that's why the planets went empty, because they got assimilated. But their consciousness and who they were, you know, before the transference stays the same. So they're not really losing their free will, they're just losing their original body. I guess is kind of the thing. It's basically it's weird. Synthetic fertility is weird, and because, like, you know, the population is all synthetic robots, like robots that were built. It's not actually a machine empire, but it pretty much is. It's like a biological empire that quickly became a machine empire. So it's kind of a hybrid kind of mix. You're still playing it like a biological empire. You're not playing it like a machine empire, but you're like, but your species is machine, and, like, you know. But at the same time, it didn't start out that way. So yeah, you get some of the benefits of playing a biological empire.
A new world has been colonized.
And you get some of the advantages of playing a machine empire. So, all right, we got a new colony. Definitely want Forge. Make yeah, it's fun. This is one of my favorite this is one of my favorite starts. Synthetic fertility. It's actually, I think arc welders is more powerful, but I think synthetic fertility to me is more interesting. Because it's kind of like, I don't know if anybody's a fan or of the new Star Trek Picard series that came out a few years ago, but hate to spoil, but like it's like basically I'm doing to my population what they ended up doing to Picard in that series. So like, and I thought that was fascinating. You know, like I always wondered what that must be like. Well, the other thing too, the reason it interests me so much is because I've had health problems my whole life, and I always thought like, what if I had like, what if I was a machine and I had machine parts instead of, you know, these faulty biological parts? You know what I mean? Like, what if I had a perfect machine body? I'd be able to get so much more done and whatnot and be so much more successful. I mean, that may or may not be true, but like that's been a thought in the past, you know? So yeah, I mean, the role play in that respect is real. So this, we don't have any influence. We're just going to automatically destruct. All right, our cruisers are rolling in. See how
completed.
Our power is on the galactic stage. They're still hanging with us. I don't know why.
Construction completed.
Council agenda ready.
Okay, military buildup is done. I want to say evolving society. I think that's the way to go. That's honestly one of the most overpowered council agendas, period. Never watched the show, but I know the board. Cool concept. Maybe one day we will get there. Get there, bro. Yeah, maybe one day. Like, you know. I think being able to transfer human consciousness into a synthetic body is hundreds of years ahead of us technologically. I firmly believe that. Like, it's at least hundreds of years. Not just 100, but like, I mean, if we survive that long, I don't think that that kind of technology is indistinguishable from magic at this point. The human brain is so complex. It uses it uses processing mechanics that I don't think we've even unlocked as a technology yet, as a human race. Like, I think we're close. Like, I think I could, feel free to argue with me, but like, I'm convinced that like the human brain, it's either a quantum computer or an analog computer, and we just started researching analog computing technology, like, seriously, like, which is why we have AI now. That's kind of what created that. So I think we are closer to something like that, but to something like biotransference, but like, really, we have such a long way to go. I really, the amount of challenges, like, especially being able to copy like every neuron, every synapse, every just, and then again, there's a fundamental question, right? Like, what is consciousness, right? If during biotransference, does my consciousness really transfer, or is it simply cloned? And how do you tell the difference? Like, does the person in the original body, do they die? Do they actually die, or do they actually go to that other body? And I think finding that answer out is going to be very difficult. So yeah, there's a lot of challenges, a lot of things to figure out there. However, I do think that we're actually really close to making a super brain, or and this is what everyone's afraid of, an artificial intelligence that's like, like basically an AI supercomputer. I think is what we're getting closer to. And yeah, like so I experience myself right now. Like, I see through my eyes, I hear through my ears. It's like I'm a character in a video game. That's what I've always felt like the real world is to me. It's like you really are. It's just like Shakespeare says, the world's a stage and we're merely the players. We're an NPC in this real world, and which is why other people like Elon Musk, they say that we're living in a simulation, right? I don't know if that's true or not, but it is interesting to think about. And like, if you really transfer all of this the way I am at this second, this nanosecond, into a different body. Now, what I think is actually more possible, and actually more possible, and actually more attainable, would be something like Ghost in the Shell. I think that's kind of maybe could be a stepping stone to this, is a situation like Ghost in the Shell, where, and for those of you that don't know what that is, or what I mean by that, who have never watched Ghost in the Shell, it's basically this concept of a human being where almost everything except the brain itself, which is where a lot of people believe that consciousness lies, is artificial and is synthetic. So the only thing that's not synthetic is your brain. I think, so the question is, what is human? What makes you human? Is it your brain? Is it your consciousness? At what point do you say, okay, I'm I'm a robot or I'm a human, right? Like, so, you know, what, again. So yeah, so to get even deeper there, right? Let's just add 3 alloys. I don't care about afterburners. Afterburners are great. Nah, they're not as great as I thought they were. See, research speed, industry. Well, so part of me thinks, I think there's equal evidence to support both that this is a simulation or that this is not. And this is in fact our first existence. So like, but yeah, I as you can see, I think about this stuff a lot. But like, no. But yeah, the whole ghost in the shell, that's the whole ghost in the shell idea. It's just basically the idea of like basically a human mind surrounded by machinery. But I think a ghost in the shell situation, I think, is what would probably happen before straight biotransference. I think that would be more attainable, I think. You know, I think, I guess, you know, if when I pass away, if the afterlife is me coming out of a pod and them going, hey, congratulations, how was it, you know, and congratulating me and going, and like, how was your experience and whatnot, and I'd be like, oh yeah, it was great, that was a good lesson I learned, you know, and then I promptly, you know, they do some ceremony and then put me into another pod or something, or, you know, and then start a whole new simulation. That could be the way things are. I mean, that could be what's going on. Possible. But I mean, I would say I wouldn't be surprised if I were to pass away and that happened. At the same time, though, you know, try not to change subject. You can change the map mode to see Empire's opinions. God, The Matrix was one of my favorite movies. Yeah, I mean, so that's kind of the thing, you know. But I could see like a civilization going. The Roy game, I didn't see that one. I love Rick and Morty though. I really do. I love Rick and Morty. Good show. But I could see a civilization, like, especially like a Type 7, getting so bored that they're like, you know what? We're just gonna make a giant super brain. We're gonna simulate everything. We're gonna put your soul, you know, your immortal body into this pod, and you're just gonna live as a human, and you're gonna go through that experience, and your life may be good, it might suck, but then you're gonna bring that experience and those lessons and back to our civilization to store and to cherish and you know, value, kind of like add to a library, if you will. Just far off thoughts, right? Like, I could see, like I said, I could see a Type 7 civilization. Now, what is a Type 7 civilization? Well, I think that, honestly, if I'm not religious, so I've often wondered if God is nothing more than a Type 7 civilization. You know, like, you know, where they basically control the universe, and you know, they've harnessed the power of the universe. A civilization like that can do anything they want. I could, but then again, I have little human mind, so maybe I'm not thinking big enough. Yeah, but like I think though, also when it comes to God and the universe, I think for me, my personal belief is that a type 7 civilization or a being that is powerful enough to control the universe is powerful enough to care about you as well. So that's kind of where my faith comes in, that like I don't know what this this presence that has been in my life is. I don't have a name for it. I just know that that something's there. And so and I'm not convinced, and I don't believe that science and this stuff has to be separate. In fact, a lot of scientists don't believe that. A lot of scientists aren't atheists. A lot of scientists are like, I absolutely do believe in God, or some kind of supreme being. But they keep an open mind about it, like, and I'm kind of in that camp, right, where there's a lot of evidence to suggest in a higher power. But then again, at the same time, you don't exactly know. So like,
Knowledge
this is
the key to the
so we could, I say, it's possible we could be living in a simulation. It's possible that we could be, but I do see order to the universe. I do. Yeah, I mean, really, like I said, there is a language, there is a code to the universe. Now, does that mean it's a simulation? I don't know. Like, but I just don't believe that, like, there's nothing and that everything's random. I don't believe in nothingness. Like, I mean, nihilism has never suited me. Like, just kind of, I've seen too many coincidences and patterns in my life to like really sit down and say, oh well, this is all random and it doesn't make any sense and it's not, and it leads nowhere and it has no meaning. Like
The special project has concluded.
some people can do that and live that way. I can't. Like, hats off to them if they can do that, but I can't. Like, I've just seen too much. Again, I'm not disrespecting any group. I'm not saying that, like, that atheists are, there's nothing wrong with being an atheist if you are one. I just think that, like, there's a lot of evidence to suggest to the contrary. But then again, God or the universe has never directly spoken to me. I don't hear voices. I don't, I haven't had that experience. I've always had to guess through my life. So I could be wrong, and it could just be nothing. This could all just be random, but I think it does more harm than good for me to believe that. So I guess that's my, personal thing there.
System survey concluded.
Yeah, honestly, I think it's a mixture of both, right? It's kind of like, they talk about the Tao Te Ching. I don't know, heard about that, but it's there's it's deep Asian philosophy and like, and Taoism is an Asian religion, and the whole premise of it is to just go with the flow. And I think I mostly agree with that, but what I also think is that yeah, go with the flow, but you also have to steer the ship, you know? You have to steer yourself along the current, you know? And so I still think that so I think it is a mixture of both. Fate, you know, leading you somewhere, but also you have to make the choice yourself whether or not you want that to be your fate, or you know, or you do have some influence over what happens to you. You know, like you have over what happened. You can have some influence. And like, so for example, like, you know, I've to this day I haven't lost my subscribers. Now let's say the opposite happened and I lost my subscriber. You know, maybe that's life pushing me in the direction to do something else other than YouTube. But that hasn't happened. So that tells me, okay, this is, I have an opportunity here. So now that's where the power of choice comes in, and decision making, and where I steer myself on the current of life. You know, I could make videos and continue to work on my channel, or I could stop working on my channel, right? So that's the decision and the choice I have. But the current direction, the flow of life is pushing me to keep doing that. You know? So if I make decisions based on where the current is going, I think that's the sweet spot. Yeah, man, this stuff came out of nowhere. So let's see how they're doing here. Okay, looks like these guys have taken over here. I don't know if that means that they're winning or losing. Actually, we could look at their conflict. So, right there. Okay, it says annexation attempt, attacker, war exhaustion. So they're pretty equal. They have equal war exhaustion, so it doesn't really look like anybody's winning. They're just skirmishing, I guess. I have a lot of alloys, so let's go ahead and dump them. 430 capacity, so we're doing really good. We just capped our energy credits. 39,000 is a little steep. But you know what? I'll go for it. I have nothing else to spend it on. And then we'll buy even more ships. I just want to, like, just explode our fleet. We have 155 influence. Let's see if we can claim a couple more things. We that and that.
System survey concluded.
Why is your GUI so big? Well, that probably has something to do with the fact that I'm streaming on a laptop. Well, let's take a look at it. Maybe there's something that can be done. Graphic. Play mode, refresh rate, level. That means UI scaling. The lowest I can go to is 0.5. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, requires a restart. Shit. Okay, let's go ahead and restart it. One sec. I gotta reopen the game. But I'm still here. Yeah, favorite wars are subjugation wars. Some of the most annoying wars are subjugation wars, but yeah, like... Okay, game's loading up. Bear with me. So do you host multiplayer games or are you solo player only? Right now I'm solo, but not because I... Okay, this is... I'm gonna have to change this, but this is definitely better than it was, for sure. Okay. Thank you for pointing that out, by the way. I like to conquer everything. What's your longest war? Oh, man. There was this war. It was when I was first playing this game. So... One of the... Yeah, it's a little small. Well, one of the... So I had a war once where basically it was for the whole galaxy. Like, I owned half the galaxy, they owned half the galaxy, and... Like, I've had some big wars in my time. And like, it took hours to resolve. Like, it was a galactic war. Like, it was crazy. And like, it took such a long time. And I lost so many ships because this was still when I with the new you know, what weapons to use, you know, what weapons were best in the new meta. And so I had really I was really struggling, but I was finally able to manage to overpower them just with brute force. But that was honestly one of, if not the most exhausting war off the top of my head that I've had. After that, I was like, I don't think I played for a couple days after that. I was like, dude, fuck that. You know, like... But I think that's the other reason why I don't play far into the game as much anymore, because of things like that happen usually. And well, this was especially that there were wars where, remember, well, there was a time when I didn't realize, I didn't realize that you could put transport ships on aggressive, and at the time you couldn't make a planet surrender by bombardment, so you had to land troops on them. So so like those beginning wars were a pain in the butt, where I had to basically manually tell all the transport ships to conquer all the different planets and take over every single, you know, system. And I used to split my fleets a lot and whatnot. Yeah. Well, don't mind using mods. There's Iron Man compatible, friendly, which is really popular. I see. Yeah, you know, the updates, I really like the updates, but man, did they make my job as a YouTuber harder. They sure freaking did. You know, there are times as a Stellaris YouTuber or as a member of that community, there are times where I've been like, man, I wish things would just stay the same so I could just, you know, so I could, you know, make videos easier, you know, especially make a video and then have that not be some of it, at least some of it be irrelevant like the next month, you know? So, but yeah, overall, I do really like the changes to the changes they made to Stellaris.
Research concluded.
Here. Ecological adaptation. I probably need to research that. That's kind of one of those must research it. Plan on terraforming it all. So why doesn't this have... Okay, there's a colony ship. It's okay. It just hasn't made it there yet.
System survey.
Like, why hasn't that thing conquered yet?
We are being hailed.
Migration treaty. I like my influence. So I'm probably going to say no to this. I don't... Yeah, I don't think that that benefits me at all, so... Alright. I think I should federate with these guys though. How long have you been playing Stellaris for? I have been playing... I first picked up Stellaris in, I think, 2016, but I didn't like it. I had the 4X games I had been used to playing in the past up until I first got Stellaris. They played way differently than Stellaris does, including the space games. Like I grew up off of Galactic Civilizations 2 and 1 and Civilization Call to Power. I don't know if anybody's heard of that, but that was my jam, right? And to go from that to Stellaris was actually very jarring. And really, there were a lot of new concepts in this game that really haven't been done in any other game, any other space 4X game before it. The biggest difference is how wars are fought, by far. Like by how wars are fought and diplomacy. Diplomacy is much, yeah, like, so I actually did not like Stellaris at first, especially the base game that first came out when it first came out, because I believe I got it when it first came out, and I did not like it at all. I didn't understand the mechanics, and the mechanics I did understood seemed pretty boring to me. Like for example, the whole claim system, right? Having to do this to get the planets that you want instead of just bringing your forces over there, declaring war, and then just taking all their shit. That's what I was used to. But now there's some empires like Determined Exterminator where you can do that, and that's perfectly fine. But and especially before the DLC came out, you couldn't do that in Stellaris. Yeah. No, purifiers weren't a thing. There was no DLC. I played this game when there wasn't, like, Utopia hadn't even come out. And I immediately dismissed it. I was like, oh, I don't like this game. Like, and yeah, so for the longest time, but then I would, but I always had this itch for a space, 4X game, for a space strategy game, a 4X game. And so I would periodically try Stellaris again, remember why I didn't like it, and then stop playing, and then come back to it later. Well, yeah, see, I'm a conqueror, right? I love conquering. That's my default state. That's what I like to do. I like to conquer and expand and just go wide, right? Well, in Stellaris, you have to do, there's much more steps involved to going wide and to conquering other empires than in other games. Any other game I've ever played. So like I said, I can't, unless I'm a determined exterminator, which came out later, I can't just, go in and take all this guy's shit, on a whim. Okay. I have to not only declare war first, but I need to claim the planets that I want. I have to have enough influence to claim those planets. That kind of stuff. So, and the other thing, I didn't understand the diplomacy system because I never used it in any other game. I never took diplomacy seriously in any other game either. I just always tried to get as big as I possibly could, and take everything over. That's what I used to always like to do. Well, in this game, the diplomacy, I found out later, is actually really good and really complex, but also that makes it really hard to figure out. So, but once I learned diplomacy, and I think the tipping point for me, where I was like, okay, I absolutely love this game now, is when I figured out how to conquer planets, how to actually get planets from other empires. When I figured out this claim system. Once I figured that out, and figured out how to win wars, figured out economy, and just slowly figured the game out. I think I just reached critical mass and was like, and that's when I won my first game. And so, and around that time, I had started having an interest in releasing more content on my channel. And so I was like, well, what about Stellaris? So I released a Stellaris video because that's what I wanted to do at the time, and then the rest is history. My videos got more and more popular, and I realized that there was a lot of things that I had to learn the hard way in Stellaris that I didn't see any other Stellaris YouTuber directly talking about. Like, for example, how to conquer planets, right? All the other sources that I at the time that I tried to find to tell me how to do this claim system was like didn't exist, at least back when I was looking for it. So I came out with a how to conquer planets video. It didn't do that well, but I still felt good about it because it's like, well, at the very least, I tried, But yeah, that was really the tipping point for me when I learned about this claim system. Was like, okay, I can take these planets and I can win these wars. I just have to do these extra steps that nobody taught me about, right? I had to learn that shit myself. So, the other thing too about war in this game that was very confusing for me was the whole war exhaustion. mechanic, which it still bothers me to this day. Honestly, I think the war exhaustion mechanic is one of the weaker points of this game. I think it needs an overhaul. It's overdue. Okay, let's run the clock and play this game. So we got 6 people watching. That's cool. Welcome everyone. Glad you're here. I think I'll keep streaming.
Knowledge is the key to the universe.
I like the conversations we're having too. It's been a good stream so far.
System survey concluded.
All right, we got Strikecraft, but we have Starhold. I think there's a lot of good stuff here. But I honestly, weapon upgrades always come first. So I am going to... Yeah, Starhold is good, but like it leads to orbital rings. Yeah, that's true. You know what? Yeah. The thing is too, I'm gonna be able to have more shipyards. That's mainly what Starholds are for, you know, more shipyards, more naval stuff, and it's a requirement for orbital rings, absolutely. And I have cruisers, so that's kind of the other reason I picked that the fighter technology, because that's like basically my main weapon right now. But I can get that later. I think it's not a good idea. You're right. I think you're right though. It's not a good idea to hold off on Starhold technology for too long. I don't like to do that. It's just there's so many other things that are more important. Like, for example, the first time Starhold technology came up, destroyer technology was up too, and I'm like, well, I have to get destroyers. Like, that's... You don't pass on destroyers when you first see it. Like, you just don't. It's bad play to pass on that. You know what I mean? Like, so you just... Like, because... You know, you want destroyers as fast as possible. Like, in any situation. Just about. So we have a pretty good-sized fleet. All right, good. These guys are inferior. So now this war says annexation, which makes me think they're not trying to vassalize. They're just trying to take some of their territory, which is good for us. I think now that they're inferior, because their fleet power is pathetic. This is great. So when they get out of the war with this empire, we're going to go ahead and vassalize them. We're going to force vassalize them. That's going to be the plan here. So go ahead and run the clock. And so we're going to bide our time. We're going to stop claiming their territory. We're going to get this if we get the vassalized war, which is okay. But like I think they'll be more valuable as a vassal than just ripping them apart. I think I'm on a medium galaxy. I like lots of star systems. I've always liked it. I've always liked a vast galaxy. My computers in the past have been able to handle it. More reinforcements. So this, believe it or not, this is a Surface laptop that I'm playing this on. It's very powerful for that. It's got 16 gigabytes of RAM. It has I believe it's an RTX 4050. So, you know, not the best graphics card, but it's definitely not the worst. Definitely able to run most games, like, or any game really. It probably like, I think the only disadvantage of the graphics card in this machine that I'm running right now is possibly for video making, unfortunately. Okay, we are tapping out on minerals. I didn't sell some of those.
Construction complete.
But yeah, this computer I'm playing on is pretty good. Well, so sell 62 minerals a month for maximum profit. So let's talk about that. I generally, as a general rule, just me personally, this may not be the most optimal thing, it may not be the meta thing to do, but I generally do not do monthly trades. And the reason I don't is because, you know, like I said, I hate math. So, and in the past, when I did monthly trades, they would solve the problem for a while, but what would always end up happening is that at some point, there would be this runaway effect where it would just get more and more and more expensive until I couldn't afford it anymore, and then I had resource problems. So what I do now instead, which is a much easier, maybe not as efficient, maybe not as, you know, meta as doing monthly trades. What I just do is what I did earlier, which is just bulk buy and bulk sell. When I, you know, when this gets capped, I bulk buy. You know, when so and I've never really understood how the whole this amount thing and shit works. Like I said, I've never really sat down and really taken time to figure out the market. It's kind of like, yeah, it becomes costing less when you overselling 64. Yeah, I mean, so I've just never been able to figure it out. So I just kind of was like, you know what, screw it. Like, I like to keep things simple. So like, even though I may not be getting as many resources, like, it's just so much simpler and easier and faster to just, you know, sell and buy in bulk and just be done with it, you know? Like, so let's say food gets capped. Well, I'll just sell 10,000. I get 2,900 credits. The other thing I found too is that what this does is, this is especially great in the beginning because in early game, like, you don't want that runaway effect. That runaway effect will kill you. And so by doing this instead, what happens is the cost goes back up over time because you're not constantly using it. You're not constantly using the market. So the prices reset themselves and go back to stable levels. And so what I found is by doing this throughout the game, I never really have to think about, you know, whether or not I'm getting screwed or not. The markets for me is always stable, right? So unless I try to abuse it. And really, you know, when it comes down to it, all the other resources, you basically just want to funnel those into energy credits, and then you want to funnel the energy credits into alloys. That's what I always do. And so now I could probably make a video about this, but yeah. Yeah, I'm not a market nerd, unfortunately. I like I said, I've never liked math, which is like probably one of my biggest shortcomings, honestly. We have a good alloy gain going on.
Construction completed.
Really good minerals. The planetary automation is doing a fine job, I think. We need to research that next. It's getting us 96 alloy. Getting us 136 minerals. Yeah. So the other thing too, I have really bad ADHD, and so I will forget my monthly trades until like I have an economic crisis. You know, I have a tendency to do that. So that's kind of the other thing. So I think if you're able to, if you don't have a hard time managing the market and you understand it like it seems like you do, yeah, definitely do that. I'm sure that's actually better than what I'm doing. But if you don't have time for that, or you just don't like that stuff, you know, you don't, you know, it doesn't vibe with you, then this is an alternative. You know, what I've been doing here. Like I said, I've never claimed to be the best Stellaris player. You know, I just like to do what works. You know?
Our colonists are in open revolt.
What is this revolt bullshit? Okay. So, what's going on here? Why are you revolting?
Construction completed. Situation log has been updated.
Pause, please. Thank you. Okay, so it's got the culture shock bullshit. So we have a lot of unemployed pops. I think I just neglected this, I think I just neglected this into the ground. I have to fix this. Yeah, I neglected this planet. I should have. They assimilated all the population. Great. So this is a really good. I think this is a really good mining world. Just do that, and yeah, it definitely needs a holo theater for sure. Maybe an identity repository. I don't think so though. I haven't actually quite understood how these repositories work, because you're not getting any more biological pops, then why do you need more than one? So I guess that's one of the questions I still don't have an answer to. But we definitely need robot assembly plants. Unity amenity. Gonna help. Oh, we can make mineral purification nodes. There we go. Yeah, only put identity repository on capital. That's what I was thinking too, because like I did. I have had multiples before, but they just seem to just evenly distribute amongst each other, so I don't even know what to... Okay, so hopefully we can turn this around. Distribute goods. Try to get this... Try to get these guys happy. It was nice popping. It's 4 a.m. and I'm ready to go to sleep. All right, man. Have a good rest, and it was good to meet you. Hope to see you again. Oh, this is the news I wanted. Looks like they made peace. Great. All right. You are mine now. You belong to me. It doesn't look like they're in a truce with them, of course. Expected. It doesn't look like they have any allies, so this is good to go. Yes. We are about to have some fun. Software malfunction. Whatever, I don't care. Everyone has a price. Why not? I have tons of credits. Okay. Like someone else wants to be my friend. Bring my transport ship over there as well. Yes, this is where the fun begins.
Life forms.
Okay, order restored. That's good. Got some technology. That's good. All right, so crisis averted there. Yeah, in fact, I think I need to go through all my planets right now and just make sure that they're all doing okay. There's not any glaring problems. You know, I have a lot of building slots open. Now, I have been negative in consumer goods for some time. So I'm wondering... Let's spend an empire capital. I probably should get rid of this food. I'll come back to this planet. So this has empty building slots. I think we should probably... And they've got unemployed. I think we could build some research labs. Yeah, I don't see a problem with that. And, you know, we could probably build a, an ally foundry. Okay. You know, we could build civilian industries as well. So, that's good. Let's see. Yeah, this has a building slot open. We could build a monument. And building industries. And we could build... I'm just slinging shit. Okay, so this has an energy nexus. That's good. Let's see what else. We could probably build a holo theater. because they are kind of low on amenities. We could build industries and research labs. They built hollow theaters on here. How do I feel about that? But we have 2 more building slots. So I'll just let them I'll let that planet manage itself. So for this one, they got hollow theaters, they got purification. Oh yeah, it's fun to think you're the center of the galaxy, yeah. It is kind of pointless too when you control everything. So we'll set up another research labs. I think it's time to get further in our research for sure. Let's see. Civilian industries. And probably could do do a monument as well, why not? Two hollow theaters? That's weird. They already have a civilian industries. So we could now, how is our strategic resource? I'd actually like to have more crystals than that. Why don't we put a couple of those there? Yeah, 2K research. I only have 500 right now, but I've honestly been basically writing the coattails of the initial front-loaded research you get just by having this origin. But now I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna be placing some more research labs and let's see. Let's go ahead and make Volairen Industries. Have hall theaters, have energy nexus. What else could it actually, put a monument on there? I could put alloy foundries. That's something else I could do too. We have a lot of mineral gains, so like yeah, like I definitely do want to make some fortresses for sure. Like right here, we could probably put a couple strongholds down, I think. And I'm just kind of spamming, you know. So how you really want to do this with the whole automation thing? So you want automation to take over most of the time, but like every once in a while, like right now, you want to just, you know, be the manager and step in and be like, okay, this is fucked up, let's fix this. Okay, that's messed up, let's fix that. This is good, but I want this too, so let's do that. I need more of this, let's put that down. That kind of thing. You just kind of, when you have an opportunity, just step in. Otherwise, you know, when your attention is divided elsewhere, you know, the automation can make the decisions for you. So that it's kind of like a melding of man and machine kind of thing is how I look at it. It's kind of like, you know, you want the AI to do it for you, but you know, you go in and correct the AI's mistakes, that kind of thing. That's what I like to do. Okay. They're getting fixed.
A new world has been colonized.
Get to conquering these. I just wanted to put some... I just want to put some buildings down because we got a lot of building slots aren't being used.
Research concluded.
Makes me look bad. Okay, so I researched lasers out of nowhere. Okay, we've got advanced shields being researched. 5 months on Starhold. That's good. Yeah, automation is amazing whenever you play wide. Like,
concluded.
or just have... Honestly, it's really amazing from beginning to end because it just, you know, it frees up so much of your thought process, not having to micromanage your planets all the time. Now, like, now am I saying that it's better than if you went in and did and micromanaged every little thing? No, I'm not saying that. If you know a person who knows what they're doing will always be able to outperform the automation when it comes to planet optimization. But that is very difficult to do for most people, myself included. And it's much easier and I think more fun to let the AI do it and just step in, like I said, when you see a problem. You know. And the other good thing about automation is that in order to micromanage planets like this, it would take up so much of my time. I would have to be constantly checking them. So, like, but the automation, like, for example, say you have a job slot open. The automation will automatically build something, you know, based on what you designate that planet is. So if it's a mining world, usually, not always, but usually, as soon as a job becomes available, it'll automatically queue up another mining station, you know, another mining district. Whereas you might either overlook that, or it might be some time before you get around to doing that. So, yeah, as far as speed and efficiency, the automation can definitely be better. Like I said, it's a tool. It's a good tool. But it does need oversight.
Council agenda available.
Yeah, like, see, it's such... I just consider it such a waste. I used to waste my time for, like, hours sitting there preening my planets. Back, especially when I had, like, galaxy-spanning empires. Like, I don't even have a lot of territory right now, and I still have a lot of planets that I'm having to manage. I just don't have the time to sit and comb through every single one all the time. It's just... it takes the fun out of the game. So, to have automation is very valuable. So, Starhold. Now, we've got habitats. We got habitats. We do want this. Machine modding. I want habitats, but at the same time, I kind of can't afford them right now. Like, our influence, we are constantly using our influence. So I think I'm going to hold off because I wouldn't even be able to make any anyway. So Star Fortress is really good, but like, this doesn't come up very often. I don't remember the last time this came up. So we're going to, and this is small, so we're going to grab this first. We need this for our synthetic ascension and our species modification. All right, our troops are almost there. Our fleets. What's your thoughts on Colossus? Do you ever use it? I honestly, I could come clean right here, right now. I have never cracked a plan. I never have. All my knowledge about Colossus is secondhand. You know, like, yeah, it's wartime. Okay, so guy. Nationalize.
We have exhausted all diplomatic options.
But no, I've never really used Colossus. I've just never got around to doing that. And there's a lot of content that I haven't really indulged yet, just because I'm just interested in other things.
Engaging hostile station.
Secure that first. Then we'll grab this up here. Down here, grab all this. We have a lot of alloys to reinforce. There we go. We're almost capped on energy credits. So we're going to go ahead and buy some more. That's good. Download the neural patterns to the identity repository. 5 more identities will be added to the identity repository. That's really good. I'm going to take that. More research. Oh, look, our research is going up. That is good. Good stuff. Consumer goods is going up. So
situation log has
those
been
buildings we
updated.
built are getting put to good use. I love to cleanse worlds. It's a great add-on. I formed federations and ended up hating my allies' decisions. Breaking packs and destroying everyone. Before, yeah. Like, nothing's more fun than conquering everything. I don't care what anybody says. I've never been a pacifist. Honestly, I probably should do a pacifist playthrough at some point. Just for fun, or just not fun. Just to do it, just to say I did it, like, you know.
A new world has been colonized.
Well, I watched a video from he doesn't know who the hell I am, but Ambiguous Amphibian. He did a run where he was pacifist, and just to see what happened. And yeah, like it was pretty funny, but I think honestly there's a lot of more things he could have done to help his situation. I don't think at the time he really grasped you know, diplomacy, like, because that's what you would need to do. You need from naturally occurring. This way better. Okay. But yeah, I think if I was to do a pacifist playthrough, I would have to, like, definitely go the diplomacy route, definitely do federations. You know, I'd have to I would definitely go that route. Yeah, and would just have to conquer the galaxy by other means. Probably that would probably be my playthrough where I played the Galactic Council, you know what I mean? Like, where okay, I'm gonna sit down, I'm actually gonna figure this out, you know what I mean? So, new planet. This is pretty well balanced. I think it should be a... I almost want to say factory world, but we can make civilian shit for that. Okay, we got another ascension perk. Great. So, Cosmogenesis. Interesting. I don't think I'm ready for that. What else can we pick here? Interstellar Dominion. That's worth it enough. Galactic. What else? Do Voidborn. You know, I haven't experienced this yet. I think. Hold on, let me save. I'm gonna save. I'm gonna save scum here. Let's see. I'm gonna name it Cosmogenesis. So. So you know what? Let's do it. Actually, now I don't know what I did to unlock that ascension perk, but we're gonna go ahead and take a screenshot of it. So, Lord of War, this has to do with. So you said. So I'll explain some of these ascension perks. So this is mercenary stuff. I've never understood the mercenary stuff. I've never messed with it or tried it. It would never interested me. So, it's like, why would I give my fleets to someone else? Like, why would I give up my fleets when I can just keep them? So, yeah. So Lord of War never made sense to me, but like it has to do with mercenary enclaves and the diplomatic weight from fleet power seems nice, I guess. I don't know how useful it would actually be. So I think I'm just gonna go over like animatic engineering really is not relevant. I'm not even going to talk about it. It's that bad. Defender of the Galaxy. So this can actually be really good for fighting the endgame crisis. So if you're doing a crisis run or something like that where you're doing 25 times crisis or something crazy, this is a must pick. Or it's like the year 2395. You know, you might want to pick this because you're about to fight the crisis. So the other good thing, obviously, is it increases your opinion with every empire. So if you're doing a diplomatic run, that's another thing to consider, another reason to pick it. So Interstellar Dominion, this is good. This is one of those things that's like good early game or early to mid game, but you know, tapers off and isn't that great late game. And also it's also depends on, you know, what your goals are. Like, so this actually is more useful to me this game, but there are other games where I didn't really claim at all. Like, for example, if I was a determined exterminator, this would help, but I wouldn't be getting the benefit of the claim influence cost, which would make half of this ascension perk useless. So not the best in most situations, but if you're claiming a lot of stuff, like if you get this in the beginning of the game and you're just claiming like crazy, you're constantly going to war, you're like the Cleons, that's when this ascension perk is actually really useful. And you're expanding, you have a lot of unconquered territory around you. So Grasp the Void, this is so this is really good if you're doing a lot of if you need a lot of star bases for whatever reason. So especially if you are playing now, I know what I've said before. The truth is, this would be good in a defensive empire, but the problem is that star bases are absolute dog shit at defending your empire from an invader. The way the mechanics are right now, unfortunately, like, I mean, I had a couple runs where I was like, you know what, I'll just bank on defense platforms, and I did that, and in one battle they wiped all of my entire starbase out with something that was not even that powerful. So I was like, well, screw that. So ever since then, I was like, you know what, it's not worth it. Like, the amount of resources and picks that I spent on defense. So that, but there are other situations where having a lot of star bases would be beneficial, not just for defense. Obviously, if you needed more naval capacity, or you know, you wanted more solar panels or whatever. So this, now the whole FTL travel technologies, I don't really know how useful that is, but yeah, so this is more than likely something, if you were to pick it, it would be at the beginning of the game, or if you were running a defense comp, you know, say later on they make changes to the game that make defense more viable, you know, make beefing up star bases more viable. So One Vision, it's okay. The Unity's good. It's just the problem with One Vision I have is that, like, there are better things. Yeah, customizing star bases would be really good too. And so, but yeah, back to One Vision. It's like I said, the stats are good. There's nothing bad about One Vision. It's just, like I said, there's usually better Ascension perks to pick. Things like Shared Destiny and even Transcendent Learning, especially in the beginning of the game, would catch my eye over this one. Now, the exception being if Unity bonuses were a big part of my build, then I may favor One Vision in that scenario. Mastery of Nature, honestly, I've never really got this this perk. Never really understood it completely. Clear blocker cost seems inconsequential and meaningless. Max districts +2, max resource districts from planetary features. Now, I don't know exactly how that works. But I think it's just another case of there are better things to pick. Now, Imperial Prerogative, if you are trying to reduce your empire size, like if you're trying to bank on every empire size reduction bonus that you can possibly get, this is something you would need to pick. I have done that in the past. So, you know, get this if you're banking hard on empire size reduction. Executive Vicar, and you have planets. So now if you're Void Dwellers, I don't think Imperial Prerogative is going to be meaningless. But yeah, like, so Executive Vigor, if you're big into Edicts Fund, or you want to do something cheeky with Edicts, nothing wrong with picking this. Just know that later on in the game, it won't be as effective as your empire increases in size and the edicts become more and more expensive. So this is kind of a early mid-game ascension perk. Transcendent Learning, this is a good one. I have picked this many times in the past. A good time to pick this, obviously, is in the beginning of the game, when you can have lots of science ships out exploring all at once. There have been many games where I have had the opportunity to do that, and just the only thing you need to be careful of is the Unity usage of having all those leaders. It does take a toll in the beginning, but if you have a good build that generates a lot of Unity, that's not a problem, then I would definitely consider getting this. If you have a lot of unconquered territory around you, or you're a, like, say you're a Terminate Exterminator or a Driven Assimilator, this is really good too, because you're going to be exploring a lot longer with your science vessels than you would in, say, an empire like mine, where I've already hit all my borders. So, and then the leader experience gain, of course, is an advantage if you were banking hard on that, or if that was relevant to you. That's something to consider as well. So Transcendent Learning is pretty good. Master of Nature is actually pretty dope. It doesn't help a lot, I think. It does help a lot, I think. Thanks for explaining, man. I didn't know some of these, yeah. Now, some of these are grayed out, right? Now, xenocompatibility, I would never get unless you want lots of lag later in the game. At least that's what I keep hearing. Arcology Project, if you can get it, that is an absolute powerhouse. I would definitely, I highly recommend Arcologies. Ecumenopolises are amazing. But it is an end game thing. So, and you need anti-gravity engineering. So we could hold off and get anti-gravity engineering and try to get this. That's definitely something we could do. Keep in mind, it does cost immense amounts of volatile motes, so make sure your economy is prepared for that. Let's see, Galactic Wonders, pretty self-explanatory. You know, Dyson spheres, you know, ring worlds, matter decompressors, all the cool shit. You know, some of the cool you get some of the coolest shit in the game that you can get if you have the DLC. So, but that requires mega engineering. So honestly, that's something you would get on like maybe your 6th or 7th Ascension perk. Yeah, if you have Utopia and you get this Ascension perk, you get Dyson Spheres, which, not like Dyson Swarms. Dyson Spheres are like their bigger brother, basically. They're upgrade, if you will. Dyson Spheres, in the end, if they're fully upgraded, will give you 4,000 energy credit gain per month. It's ridiculous. Yeah. So it's almost, the sad thing is, though, it's almost unnecessary. Like by the time you're able to get a Dyson Sphere fully upgraded, you almost don't need it, though not always. There are times where I've actually was glad that I built a Dyson Sphere, because I had because I had a lot of fleets. So if you're gonna have a lot of fleets, like if you're gonna in end game and you have a ridiculous amount of fleets and a ridiculous amount of energy credit expenses, Dyson Sphere is like a must. So Master Builders, you kind of want to use this in combination with Galactic Wonders. The two kind of go together. You know, Megastructure build speed 50%, Megastructure build capacity. Especially you want to pick this at least by itself if you are Voidborn or like you're doing habitats. So that and hyper relays and stuff. So Master Builders is really good too. Voidborn, if you're doing habitats, that's a must pick. You know, if you plan on building habitats. Eternal Vigilance, this is basically you need to get this if you're doing defense platforms. Hands down. But only if you're doing that. World Shaper. So I never really saw the value in this. It like terraforming costs is good, obviously, but I just think there's better ascension perks to pick, especially at the stage in the game where you would be able to have this. Why pick this when you can pick Voidborn or Master Builders or Galactic Wonders or Arcology Project? Like, why would you pick this? So that's kind of my reasoning there. Colossus Project, I already told you guys. I already came clean. Told you guys I've never used a Colossus. Makes me want to go use one right now, just to say I did. But Nihilistic Acquisition. This is a fun one, but it's kind of a niche situation. So like you need authoritarian, you need or you need to be xenophobe, and you know you need to be, you know, this is good if you're doing slaves, and like, you know, you just basically you're doing a lot of like humiliation wars and stuff. So I think, so Juggernauts, I think that's Federations, and Titan is Apocalypse. That's what I think, if I remember correctly. So Apocalypse DLC if you want Titans, and then Federation DLC if you want Juggernauts.
Knowledge is the key to the universe. Construction completed.
Now, what the computer is probably going to try to do, when I'm up here, it's probably going to try to come in through here. So I could split my fleets, but the problem is, if I do that, they could eliminate one of those fleets because they're weaker. Okay, I've gone without iron thrusters far too long. Time to get them. Oh, by the way, we can make arc welders. That's right. Okay, so let's go ahead and pick research station output, and then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna find some places to put our arc furnaces. Now, this might be a good place. This looks like it might be an excellent place. Yeah, this is a molten world. It's got good amount of mineral deposits. Yeah, let's go ahead and grab a construction ship and have build one. Let's find another spot. We're gonna build a whole bunch. So this one, are there any molten planets here? Ah, there's a molten world. Got quite a bit of bodies. So let's go ahead and get a construction ship over here. So let me see. We have about, I want to say 30,000 fleet power total right now. Pretty good. I think what I see, I think the majority of their fleets are going to come from here. So I think I could probably have the 20,000 one come down here and have the 8,000 scoop all these up. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'll have this reinforce. I think I'll just park them right here.
Blocker cleared.
So I'm going to leave this Ascension perk open because I want to do Arcology. I want to do the Arcology project. Yeah, this guy can bully all these planets here. Excuse me. So this might be a good place for a arc furnace. Or not. I don't think it has a molten world. No, really doesn't look like it. Nah. Let's see. Next. I want to get a place with a lot of minerals. I think we already... Yeah, we already picked that one. This one. This could be good. I think this could be actually be really good. Yeah, I think it is. Okay. Yeah, we'll put a... Actually, let's put the arc furnace here.
Engaging hostile station. The special project has concluded. Engaging hostile station.
Yeah, so we'll just sit in this bottleneck here. Now the other thing that these guys are actually, no, it looks like it's their territory. Good, but they might still try to hook around and enter my territory from here. If that happens, I'm not too concerned. No. Oh, I got a new planet. Set up my new planet. So this is This would be good for mining. Honestly, though, I don't think we need mining. I think, if anything, we need, excuse me. I almost want to say Unification Center. Well, the thing is, when we get these arc furnaces, we're going to have more minerals than we could ever do anything with. Like, you know, we get provided they're fully upgraded. It's going to be ridiculous. And more alloys than we know what to do with. You know, at least for a while. So, like, and I don't have a Unity world yet, so... And this has a lot of city districts, so I'm thinking maybe I could make this a Unity world. Wondering if that's what I should do instead. I think I will. I think I'm going to. I can always claim get more worlds. So let's do that. Oh, nuclear bomb bullshit. Let's see. Bomb, where is it? That's annoying. Waste of engineering technology. Oh, need to sell food. Okay, so far so good. They haven't come up here yet, so I am worried that they're looking around here. That or they're just scared. That happens too. So, research output. That. Hopefully, anti-gravity technology will come up.
The special project has concluded. Construction completed.
Ooh. It's Tomb World. A lot of energy districts. Yeah, they might be. You know what? I think I need a Fortress World. One is not enough, for sure. Let's look at our... So, we should probably upgrade our Dyson Swarm, for sure. Ruined matter decompressor. Now, like, if I was able to open this up, that'd be badass. Asteroid sensor relay. Here. Okay, we got a fleet detected. Hold on a second. Where's it at? It is... What? What are they doing here? I guess they were in this person's territory. They came down here. Oh, that's annoying. Okay, well... I really don't care if they take this over. It's just going to be a temporary thing anyway. I think what I'll do is I'll claim this territory, and then I'll swing over here and stop like right maybe here. I don't know. Yeah, so somehow they ended up here. So yeah, it's basically, and I think this is one of the most frustrating things about this game, um, is stuff like this here. Like almost every war I've ever fought with the computer AI has been like this, where they, like, no matter how much you think you have your bases covered, they always find a leak somewhere in your empire, and they exploit it every single time. It is the most aggravating part of this game, is this stuff. So, like, you know, is basically the behavior. Like, the computer never does the honorable thing at all. It just it does the bare minimum of what it, like, has to do to annoy you, you know. Like,
Engaging
I could go on about that forever, but, like, yeah, I mean, you know what? Let's wait. Why can't I take? There is no route for the selected fleet to reach the system. Okay. So can't be an inhibitor because I've taken over this station. So, but it says I can't go over here. Why? Because there's no route for the selected fleet to reach the system, which is BS because there is a hyperlane right there. And I have this taken over. My territory. So I shouldn't be inhibited. Oh, okay. It just took it over. It just didn't transition. Okay. Well, this live stream's gone longer than I had intended, which isn't bad. Grab here and so Galactic Administration, this is like a must pick. So we're gonna do that. Get another civic point. Be very helpful. Now, they have transport ships, which changes things. 600. So, I don't like them taking over my planets. So, I think I might have to hop up there. Deal with these scumbags.
Research concluded. Our station is under assault. Red alert. Spaceport under fire. Engaging hostile station. We have lost a spaceport.
let's see what they have here
Knowledge
in
is
terms
the key
of
to the
defense.
universe.
Pause, please. 368. So I'm going to take my fleets and bombard these. Try to get them to surrender. So Star Fortress by far going to be getting that, so that's great. Which reminds me, I need to stop being bad and at least upgrade my main shipyard so that I can get more shipyards to build faster. What's this got? This doesn't have shit. This I don't care if they take that over. Good. Please put yourselves in a corner. I appreciate it. Makes my job easier. I think we're going to modify our species soon. We probably should. Orbital surrender prohibit. My ass. No. I want to allow their surrender. Absolutely.
We have lost a spaceport. Red alert. Spaceport under fire.
Like, orbital surrender is like the most overpowered thing ever. Why would you not want to use it? That's kind of my logic there. Like, the most welcome change in Stellaris ever was when orbital bombardment surrender became a thing. It just took so much BS out of fighting. Well, the other reason too that I really like it is
the special project has concluded.
Those of you that don't know, whenever you invade a planet and you lose troops, that counts towards your war exhaustion. So it's actually much more beneficial to just conquer planets by bombarding, even though they take longer, because you're not spending that much. You're not spending nearly as much war exhaustion. So this has been my experience. It's been much easier to just go through and just take the time to just bombard every planet into submission when you can. Sometimes you can't. Than it is to just get a big giant army and bounce from planet to planet with that and take a bunch of attrition. So it's